can get Botox literally at like a podiatrist's office. Girl, they're doing it in the back room of your local YMCA. So they can go anywhere. So what makes you different? You have to set yourself apart, and that's how you do it. It's not social media, it's not marketing, it is internal processes.
Today's guest has built her career at the intersection of beauty, strategy, and growth. Anya is the founder of The Aesthetics Advantage, a master esthetician, and a seasoned marketing strategist with over 12 years of experience. She's worked with global brands like Benefit Cosmetics, helped scale one of the largest aesthetic clinic chains in the US, and led partnerships with industry leaders like Sephora. Now she's helping practices grow sustainably through smart, cost-effective strategies. Anya, we're thrilled to have you with us today. We work in the beauty industry, so clunky software is just not the vibe. Boulevard is sleek, made for beauty pros, and gets you compliments, not complaints from clients. Podcast listeners can get 10% off plus free guided setup. So head over to joinblvd.com/podcast to claim the special offer. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to start the Aesthetics Advantage?
I would say my background, first and foremost, I went to school for psychology, so we don't use that. But I, right out of school, moved to New York, and I started working at a massive PR agency. And that was right when like the influencer came out. So we really kind of like built that model out. And so that's what got me going into social media and understanding how you can grow a business without having to, spend a ton of money on like digital ads. And I worked with, a lot with Benefit Cosmetics and stuff like that before they had in-house marketing. So I ended up loving the beauty industry, because who doesn't? And so I became a licensed esthetician, which you are as well, which we love. And I worked front desk at, a med spa during that time, dipped my little feet in the water. And then again, right out of school, became a lead esthetician, which I had no business being a lead esthetician. I was like 25, managing like 12, like very seasoned estheticians, but we learned. And then again, I just started like pivoting every time as you hit an issue and you have to just kind of learn from it. So I've done literally every position. So I really was giving a lot of med spas advice on how to build their med spas. And people are like, why are you doing that for free? So I started consulting, and I mainly work with physicians that are wanting to transition into aesthetics or bring cash pay treatments on. So I would say that's kind of how I got started. But the reason why I feel so passionately about it is because I have seen so many doctors and practices make mistakes over and over and over again. And I was just so sick of watching people literally destroy their lives because these device companies and these marketing companies make these insane promises of like rich and profitability, and you're going to be, the superstar, and they have no processes. What really led me to it, honestly, was there was a sales rep at this company that I worked at, and he said to me, he worked for a device company. He said, we're in the business of bankrupting doctors. And I was like, that. I was like, I can't sit around and watch that. So that's really what I've built my platform on. If you follow me on social media, like I really put what works and what doesn't work out there shamelessly. I've got a lot of cease and desist because of it, but it's kind of what I do and why I'm here. So
no, I love that so much. Hopefully no cease and desist to be continued from this conversation.
If you want to spend money every time, go for it.
You're more than merrier.
Doesn't bother me.
So question for you, when you look at top performing med spas that you've helped, what are those key strategies or mindsets that are consistently setting them apart?
If you were to ask other med spas, like, oh, well, what sets them apart? They're going to like, oh, social media. It's all social media. That's all it takes. No, absolutely not. You can have the most talented people who have literally no social media. So what makes a good practice is their internal processes. And that starts with their team. So if you have a strong team and a good positive work environment and you really set your team up for success, that is what's going to help you really have a profitable med spa. And I see so many people just not doing it right. So, and investing in your team, investing in your practice. These doctors, again, they have a medical license. So they're like, oh, I'm just going to buy a device. Like, this isn't the field of dreams. Like, if you build it, they will come. That's not how this works. You have to have processes in place. You can't just buy a device and then just expect people to walk in the door like, hello, you're a gynecologist. You have like vagina patients. Like, you're a GI doctor. You're a pediatrician. What are you going to have, like kids come through the door asking for CO2 lasers? No, like, you have to set yourself up for success. Like, don't buy a device if you don't have someone who's going to advocate for it. If you have a front desk that doesn't know how to open Excel, don't buy a device. Don't start a med spa.
I love that. And I love what you said about investing in your team. I feel like that's something that in this industry, the beauty industry as a whole, really, that is not talked about enough, is not thought about enough, is putting back into your team, pouring into your team, educating your team and uplifting them. And I feel like that plays such a critical role, like you said, when they're walking in the front door and greeted by that front desk. It can be make or break.
I mean, it's their first point of contact. You know, that phone call, that is literally their first point of contact. And if you have someone on the phone that has never had the treatments, that doesn't know anything about the treatments, can't answer simple questions, you can get Botox literally at like a podiatrist's office. Girl, they're doing it in the back room of your local YMCA. So they can go anywhere. So what makes you different? You have to set yourself apart, and that's how you do it. It's not social media. It's not marketing. It is internal processes.
That is amazing. Yeah. Thank you for that.
That's the tea.
And with that, many med spas have incredible providers, like you just said, and business as a whole, but often they do struggle with that marketing component themselves. So what's one thing that you wish every med spa understood about marketing?
When you think of marketing, right, everyone goes to the same thing. Oh, it's just ads, digital ads. No, that's not it. And that's one thing that I focus on mainly is marketing that doesn't cost a practice money. Because again, I work with practices that just bought a $200,000 device. They're like, okay, so I have $6,000 worth of payments. What am I have to spend $10,000 in marketing? Absolutely not. So I think it's understanding that marketing is also treating your team, you know, investing in your team, making sure that they get all the treatments, making sure that, you know, you're having the reps come in on a quarterly basis to make sure that they know everything about it, getting that refresh. And again, that is going to cost the practice money, and that is considered marketing. You know, one of the reasons why I love a good system like Boulevard is because it really does dumb it down for the practices, you know, like you can send out the email blast, you can do the text message blasting. It's super efficient. So you know, getting a good EMR system is super, super important. These are all marketing strategies. Partnerships are massive. Like, hello, this is the beauty industry. Go into hair salons, nail salons, gyms, build out these partnerships because these are things that aren't going to cost you money. Last but not least, don't do ads if you don't know how to field leads. If you have a troll at the front desk that doesn't know anything about these treatments, like, don't pay for ads. It's a waste of your money. So many people are just wasting money. It drives me crazy.
No, I agree with you so much. I feel like when we talk about like paid media and social ads, that's the first thing people think of when it comes to marketing. And it's just like throwing content out there to the masses. There's nothing that's really dialed in for them. And when you talk about, you know, investing in your team again and really making sure that they understand the treatments, there is a night and day difference between speaking to somebody that's had a treatment and speaking about their own experience versus somebody that's learned about a treatment through education or a rep who comes in that's never had it done. And then they become your mini kind of brand ambassador. So when they're picking up the phone, they're able to speak to the treatment, they're able to sell the treatment, all of those things that tie into it.
And like same on social media too. I feel like a lot of people are so social media obsessed. Like I have to do my like TikTok dances and, you know, I have to post like every day. Like you don't, you know, put quality content out there, educational content, or just don't put stupid stuff out there. I think that's another thing that I have to like touch on is the fact that if you put like stock images or just like content out there, it's actually hurting you opposed to helping you. It's making you look cheap. It's making you look like you're not experienced. So I would rather you just not post anything. So I think that's a good thing for people to understand. And again, I work with a lot of solo injectors. Another thing that I think is important to focus on is the patient experience. What sets you apart, right? Because like I said, you can get this stuff done literally anywhere. So making sure that you have systems in place where you're following up with patients. It's their first time getting Botox. They're coming in, you're calling them the next day. Hey, how are you doing? What is your patient journey from start to finish? So from the moment they heard about you to 6 months down the line when you're checking in with them, are you doing events? Are you doing all these things? This matters. This is what's going to make you successful and different. It's not the services that you offer. It's not the menu that you offer. It's not the injector that you have. It's the patient experience as a whole.
In this industry, so many people think that the client experience starts from the time that the client's walking through the door, and they diminish the fact that it really starts when they start to look for a treatment, when they start to look for a provider, and they are looking for social media, and they do go and see those stock images. And I think it's tough for people who are just starting where they don't know where to go. Do I use stock images? Do I post nothing? What really makes a difference there? Or do I try to get my own before and afters?
Well, exactly. And I think, again, there's just so much smoke and mirrors in the industry and so many people trying to get a quick buck. So these like social media companies that are like, oh, we'll grow your following. That doesn't matter. And people are just so pushed and pulled in different ways. And just like anything else, you go on TikTok, like, oh, what Korean skincare can I get this time? It's like the same thing with Medspas. You have these people in your DMs all the time, like, I'll grow your business, 300 people in 2 months. It's all bullshit. It's just important that people do their research. And again, that's why I try to really help med spas, and I could totally gatekeep. I try to protect people and educate them on what's worth it, what's not worth it, what to do, what not to do. Like, don't waste your money. Don't waste your time or your resources.
Yeah, no. And I think a lot of folks need a blueprint. They need to understand, where do I spend money? Where do I save money or kind of reserve money at? So I love that you're kind of breaking down those barriers of, I'm not going to gatekeep, because I feel like that's such a common thing in the industry where it's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah. You have to DM me. You have to do this in order to get that information. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that can feel defeating for folks who are just starting off or don't know where to go.
It's Wild West out there. It really is. But we love it.
The wild, wild west. The lawless west.
Yeah, lawless.
Well, you're known for helping create successful, high-converting events for med spas. What do you feel like truly makes an event profitable instead of it just being this great party, gathering, and get-together?
How much time do you have? Because let me tell you, it is so frustrating. So when med spas do events, they do it always the same exact way. It is a cattle call. They'll put it on their social media. They'll send out the email blast, the text blast. Hey, we're having this event, get your specials, here's your deals. And then they spend all this money. You got the balloon wall, you've got the bullshit taco bar, you got they spend so much money on this. And then you get the Karens there who are literally there for the free shit and there for the raffle, and they don't buy anything. And they just spent all this money on what? Nothing. You have to be very, very specific and laser focused, no pun intended. And basically the way that you do small format events, and they're called small format seminar style events, is you pick 1 or 2 similar technologies and you only invite VIP patients. These are vetted patients, and you do max, you want 25 people there. Anything more and it's too much. What you do is you do a presentation on those treatments, and then you do one-on-one consults with those patients. And our events, they average $50,000 in 3 hours. And that's how you do it. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. And I'm not trying to gatekeep, but it will take all the time in the world. But I wish practices knew that more. And I'm actually starting to transition a lot of practices away from doing monthly specials and just doing events or quarterly events, a face event, a body event, a weight loss event, whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's just a different mindset, and it's much easier. and cheaper.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking back in my own head about the first events that I threw, and it was exactly that, this smorgasbord of how much can we put on this little flyer? How much information can we share? How many specials can we have to get everybody that we can? But what you're talking about is genius because you're focusing on two things. You're focusing on the intimacy as well of who is there to ensure that folks are really interested, because it's so common that people come to these events for the free food, the balloon wall, all of the things, or, raffles that they might win $100 worth of product or something like that, and really taking away from the purpose of the event. And then it becomes a money waster and a time waster for everybody who's involved.
Yeah. Events are supposed to be revenue generating. You're not supposed to waste all your money at the event. And that's why I love to work with like these device companies. So like when practice purchases a device, they'll put our services onto the deal so that we can actually help them launch those devices. And it's just the way to do it. And again, I have no problem. I try to make as much content as I can to teach people, but it's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much that goes into it. And like we talk about, there isn't a blueprint for the industry. There isn't a, map that helps you understand where you put money into, how you do these things. So you really do need somebody that understands and has done it to come in and say, no, listen, we have to do it this way. Mm-hmm. So love what you're doing. I think it's so influential as well for the industry as a whole, because we really do need to shift away from Medspas hosting these parties really for their client base as a whole to really change that mindset into this should be revenue generating for them.
Girl, it's ego too. You know what I mean? Like these doctors are like, how many people can I get here? How many pictures can I get on social media? How many followers can I get? It's like, that's not going to bring you any money. Well, why are we wasting our time? Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
No, it's funny too that you say ego, because when we think about social media and, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I see some of these people who are doing the most viral dances, who are doing some things that don't even make sense for, the content that they have. But it really is that we are just living in a time where it's like, I need to, get on whatever that newest viral trend is to get the attention, to get the likes, to get the shares, whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's wild. You know what else is crazy too? Is, I don't know if you've seen it, but these social media companies that will literally, I know you've seen them, first of all, giving away bags and stuff, but no shade, little shade, a lot of shade. They'll come on and they'll make this post about, oh, if you sign with us, we'll get you, 1,000 followers. It's like, unless it translates into dollars, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter how many likes. It doesn't matter how many views. So, stop trying to go viral and post things that are going to serve you and serve the people following you. Educate your patients. Show the before and after. Show the treatments. Show the, come with me to go do this so they can see what an appointment looks like. And again, if you don't have the capability of doing that, then don't post anything. You know what I mean? As simple as that.
Yeah. So you're saying that the educational content, the content that's important, that actually means something to your client base or your clients that are coming in, is obviously so much more valuable than you posting a viral dance or a giveaway of some luxury bag, whatever it might be. And that it's actually preferred that you would go the route of not posting anything and keeping off of social media versus going the route of doing whatever's viral, whatever might get you the most likes and clicks.
Yeah, I think if you don't have the capacity to do social media, whether like you're a seasoned provider and you just don't know how to work social media, it's not your thing, that is okay. But you better have a killer referral program in the community, and that's how you grow. And then I don't care, you don't have to have a social media. But if you have the capacity, then you absolutely have to be on social media educating. But you don't have to post every day. Like, don't make it a thing. Just make sure the content that you are putting out there matters and people are learning something. And think of yourself as a consumer. Why would I follow this person? Because your social media is your storefront.
I love what you said about think of yourself like a consumer. I feel like that is so oftentimes overlooked, where these business owners are making decisions for the business without actually thinking about the client experience or how that impacts the consumer who's coming in. Can you talk a little bit about, just the overall breaking down the client experience, thinking like a consumer, tips, tricks? What's most important there?
It's such a good question. And it's so important because these providers and everyone, they lose sight of being, when you're in it, of course, like you don't know, but you have to, with everything you do as a business owner, a med spa owner, needs to be with your consumer, your client in mind. From the devices you purchase, the team you bring on, the EMR system you bring on, everything has to be with the thought of the consumer. How you sell, how you talk to the patient. Like, don't sit there and tell them like their anatomy. They don't give a shit. Like, tell them in something that is digestible for them. It's just a matter of kind of resetting your mind and putting yourself in their shoes. Go back to when you were an actual patient. And God, if I see another med spa buy a device because like they just want it for themselves, I'm going to lose my mind. I have so many med spas that I've tried to save that have just purchased this like line of devices that like their clientele can't even use and they don't care about. And it's like, girl, I know you and your team just wanted those devices, but now they're sitting there collecting dust.
Exactly. And it's so common. And I think one thing is they don't think about the consumer, obviously, but they're also just asking, the general public. I see all the time in different groups for medical spa owners, professionals, where it's like, what device should I get? What's next for me? And I think that's such a red flag because you shouldn't really be asking the masses for what's the most popular device or, getting recommendations, but you should really be looking at your clientele, right? To understand what are your demographic of folks looking for? What are their concerns and how can you treat that with? Is that something that you work with your clients in talking about when it comes to bringing in new devices, things like that?
100%. And actually, do you know what a CIQ is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, client intake questionnaire. And this is the literal first thing I do when I take on a new practice is I implement a CIQ. So basically, you're getting patient information, first name, last name, phone number, email. Obvious, everyone does that in the consent forms. But you're also getting what treatments are you interested in? Again, a lot of people, they already do that. They fill it out, but it goes into an EMR system or whatever, and it is just in the cloud, right? We implement the system, and when we put what treatments are you interested in, we don't just put the treatments that they have. We put treatments that they could possibly want within the next 6 to 18 months. And then that way you can let your patients choose what device you should get next based off of what treatments they're interested in.
That is genius.
It's not rocket science.
That is genius. You are using your clients to make the informed decision for you.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but now you have a list of patients that you can reach out to and say, hey, we got this device that you were interested in. Boom, done. Like, this doesn't seem difficult for me. Like,
you know what you know, right?
That's fair. That's what I would do. You can also, again, you want to put it through social media. Do a poll on your social media. Hey, out of these, treatments, what are you interested in? Like, just make sure that you're asking. To your point, don't go on Facebook and ask a bunch of like random owners because they don't know. You have different demographics. Every med spa is different for a reason.
And I think too, when you involve the consumer and your clientele in that decision, there's a sense of gratitude that they feel for the business as a whole and their provider. Just the fact that they're involved in such a decision or even, involved in a possible decision per se. Because I feel like most times people are making these decisions. They're not asking clientele. They're not trying to get their opinion on anything and then just presenting it to them in a very salesy pitch, right?
You're so right. You're so right. And it's like the whole point of creating, I guess, secret sauce, right? To create a successful med spa is really creating a community. And that really does like, hey girl, I know you're interested in this, so I got it. Like it really does create that rapport. So that's a really good point too.
No, I love that. And I love too what you said about so oftentimes when we're filling out this intake or client questionnaire, they are letting this live in the cloud, like you said, and nothing is to ever be done with it again. It's just simply that we've checked the box that they filled out this intake and that's good to go. What are your recommendations for providers or even businesses when it comes to using that vital information on that either in the consultation or those decisions like purchasing future equipment?
Basically, I use a platform called Jotform. You can do it on Google Form or whatever, but that's where I created, and that's where you're able to pull reports from it. And once you have these reports and you have this like list of patients, you're like, okay, now what do I do like with this, right? Well, now you target market people. So I pick up the phone. People are so scared to pick up the phone these days. It's like a Gen Z thing. I don't understand.
It's a very text only.
They just don't even want to
now.
work. Kim K had it right. Kim K had it right. People just don't want to work these days. But I pick up the phone, call these people. Hey, Carol, I saw that you were interested in this. I'm so pumped. We have a special for it this month. Do a small format event. Hey, look at all these people. I saw you guys were interested in this. Make sure they're vetted, but invite them to the event. You can email blast all of those people. Obviously, you want to email blast everyone, but direct marketing is really, really important because they a lot of times will transition into sales a lot easier. One little tip and trick that I have with filling out that CIQ, which is super important. Unless it's in your new patient paperwork, how are you going to get new patients or possible partnerships to fill this out? Is I actually create the CIQ and incentivize patients to fill it out. So I'll incentivize them by offering complimentary treatments that are low to no cost to the practice. So, hey, if you fill this out, let's just say we go to a partnership with a hair salon. Hey, fill this out. Here's a little like QR code. If you or your patients, or I guess not patients, clients, fill this out, you could get a B12 shot, laser hand rejuvenation, small area laser hair removal, skinny shot. The limit does not exist. Whatever that you want to do that's at low to no cost to the practice that doesn't take time. That way it gets butts in seats and you're able to actually do a full consultation on it. So I think implementing the CIQ, incentivizing, and then now it's, okay, how do I distribute this, right? We make cute little custom business cards to fill out, little 5x7s to put in the office. And then of course, utilizing your systems to send out text and email blasts. Simple as that.
Amazing. You are clearly a genius when it comes to this, but no, seriously. But I think one thing too, when people think about marketing or sending out email, text segments, whatever it might be, oftentimes they're sending to just overall all clientele. Clients who are in the last 6 months. Do you recommend really segmenting that to get as granular as possible to ensure that the messaging that you're sending to those clients makes sense to them, either based on what they had come in previously for or what they're interested in possibly for the future?
Yeah, well, this is why you have a bomb system that can do it for you. Like, again, if you don't have the capacity to do these things on your own, meaning like you're not tech savvy, you don't know how to do email blasts, text blasts, and because again, these are all separate systems that you have to pay for. Just get a good system like Boulevard that will literally do it for you. Takes the work out of it. And it also ultimately, even though it's a little bit more expensive, it saves you money. It's important to have that engagement. That's what keeps the community, is that engagement with patients.
I love that so much. I think it's so important too in this industry to ensure that you are building a community and, making sure that your messaging makes sense to whomever you're sending it to. But I also loved what you said about making sure that you don't have a ton of different solutions doing similar things, but all working separately. When we talk about consolidating them to ensure that you have, and that does the marketing component, the scheduling component, all of those things. Do you oftentimes see people that are just content and okay with managing 5+ different solutions?
This is a personal opinion. I was told by my lawyer to say that. So one thing that I have been seeing, and I really don't like this company because of this, is Repeat MD, personal opinion, makes no sense to me because Boulevard can do literally the same exact thing minus Affirm, which again, I think they're getting payment plans, so it's like the same exact thing. Repeat MD can't book. It's not an EMR system. Yes, they might have a partnership now with, I think, Aesthetic Record, but now you're paying for Repeat MD and Aesthetic Record. It's like, let's consolidate it into one. Because to your point, there is not a single Medspa out there that is going to be successful with 27 different things. Like, no, you're just confusing yourself, especially with these like ancient doctors that don't know what they're doing. So just like get one thing. But again, doctors don't know this. Practices don't know this. They just like get marketed and whoever has the best marketing wins. And that's bullshit. Like, yeah. So that's why I do what I do. To spill the tea. My opinion.
Yes, again, her opinion. No, I think that's perfect. When we talk about, what you've done previously, let's look ahead to kind of 2025 and what's forward. What trends or tactics are you most excited about right now, but especially when it comes to, medical aesthetics in 2025?
I did an ins and outs list on my social media, which I got absolutely torched for, but it's fine. We won't get into the outs, but ins for 2025 for Medspas. From a device perspective, which is crazy, I actually just got a CO2 laser 4 days ago. So when you talk about devices that are in, I am obsessed with the Tetra Cool Peel from Cartessa. Hands down, best device ever. Again, CO2s have been around for like 30 years, but you get it and you look like, what is it? Like Jason? Not Jason. What's the one with his face all like... Freddy Krueger. You look crazy. Like you can't leave the house. The fact that I got a CO2 laser 4 days ago is insane. Like no downtime, all skin types, obsessed with it. So I definitely, and I help launch those all over the country. They are easily the most successful devices that I've seen, not only with the launch, but just like continued because patients love it and it works and it sells so easily. Oh my God.
I mean, 4 days.
4 days. Like, this is crazy. Like, I have a little bit of makeup on. I got a little face beat, but like, I just have a couple little, dark things that are starting to kind of come off and that's it. Unheard of.
No, your skin looks amazing.
I love it. I know you like Aerolace.
I do, but I'm going to be going and getting that soon. So
We'll find you a provider. Another thing too is, I guess this is out influencer marketing in med spas. Your patients would rather see on your social media their friend Carol. She could have 4 followers on social media. It doesn't matter. If she has a network, she's head of the PTA, she's a hairstylist and has all these people there, that you're going to get way more out of that than you are an influencer. Because these influencers, they're going to go anywhere. They're going to go anywhere they can get free. Anyone who slides in your DMs and like wants to work with you, no. And you think about even like Kim Kardashian, right? Like, let's just say someone magically wanted Kim Kardashian to come in, which Kris Jenner would never allow that. You are marketing for the device company, not for your med spa, because how many of those people that follow her live in the area? How many of those people can afford these treatments? What about, do they even qualify? Nope. So it's like, who are you marketing for? So that's out. And what's in is, utilizing your clients to get new clients, referrals, all of these things, really putting your effort into your team, your practice, and your patients.
That's amazing.
I forgot the question, to be honest.
You nailed it. You gave us a little bit of in, you gave us a little bit of out,
good.
But a good mix of both, just kind of wrapping up 2025 as a whole. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You are absolutely amazing.
Good. Hopefully we have some good editing and I don't get canceled, but feel free to send some cease and desist. It's fine.
Anya, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like you had so many good points to share with us. I feel more informed after our conversation, so thank you. Any final thoughts, anything that you want to leave our guests with?
I would just say, do your research. Stop listening to KOLs and don't get me started, these people who are on stages. Talk to people who are in the industry, especially these KOLs that are on every single stage. But I think it's just really do your research, invest in your team, and know that just because you have a medical license doesn't mean you should own a med spa.
And can you let our listeners know where they can find you?
The best way is to find me on social media, which is at theaestheticsadvantage.com, or not .com, The Aesthetics Advantage, or you can go to the website. I'm never on it, but that's going to be the best way to kind of contact me. Just DM me. I'm honestly, like I said, I don't gatekeep. I always talk to, just like a med spa, talk to everyone who kind of DMs me. And there's a lot of training tools on there. I spill a lot of tea on there where normally consultants would make you pay thousands of dollars for, you can get it for free on there. So definitely follow me on social media. And then look out because I'm starting a podcast here soon. Super excited. So it's called Aesthetics Unhinged, but we'll see how quickly I get canceled.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you, Anya, so much for joining us. This conversation was so much fun.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Absolutely. Are you a beauty pro who loves what you do, but not the admin part? Boulevard's got you. From seamless online bookings to streamlined workflows and built-in revenue boosters, Boulevard is the easy-to-use platform that works as beautifully as you do. For tuning in to today's podcast, you can save 10% and get free guided setup. Head to joinblvd.com/podcast to learn more and get started.